Okay, Xandros, of course we want to see your beautiful face. Okay, so we are going to do a little experiment, right?
But I'm gonna.
Okay, so we're gonna make a little experiment. The first thing we're gonna do
Eggy.
is we are going to test.
Water. We're gonna test water, a little eggy boy, and milk.
Right, and what are we gonna do to them?
We're gonna make them hot and cold.
Right, so we're gonna add heat to them. We're going to add cold to them, and then we're going to have one, so we'll have 3 containers of each, and then we'll have one that we'll just leave at room temperature so we can test to see if it's the same. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to label our things. So, here's our egg. Okay? So,
little eggy boy.
Xandros, do you want to hold the camera?
Yeah.
Just point it at the eggs, okay?
Eggy boys.
Okay. I'm going to add, this one we're going to say cold. This one we're going to say
norm.
I'm just going to write norm, okay? You can tell we have chickens because one's calling out to us. And this one we're going to do hot. Okay? So, one's just going to stay at room temperature. One is going to get hot. And one is going to get very, very cold. So this one we're going to put in the freezer. Okay, so let's follow me. Xandros, can you follow me? Or do you want to take it? Here, how about we switch spots? Okay, you take that and you go put it in the freezer. Okay, go ahead. No, that's the fridge. Put it in the little one. Right here. Okay, find a spot, maybe right here in the door. Okay, now we'll let that one freeze. It's going to take quite a while while we do that one. Okay? Now let's get our other stuff ready, okay? I'm just going to pause it for a second. There you go. Recording again. Okay. So now we're back. Back it up a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to label these ones. This one we're going to go hot.
Hot.
This one we're going to do norm. That's our control one. Okay. And this one's going to be what?
Cold.
Cold. Now, do you remember what we're testing to see? When we add heat to it, what are we thinking is going to happen? What are we testing to see is going to happen?
We think it's going to get hot.
Right, but when it gets back to normal temperature, is it going to be the same thing it was when it started out, or is it going to be different? That's what we're testing.
I think it's going to be different. Yeah, it's going to be different.
So let's add some water. Okay. Let's go over to here. So we're just going to add some water. So this one will boil. This one will just be normal. And this one?
Yeah, or also we'll cook the normal one to make it a scrambled egg.
Well, I was thinking maybe we just boil it as a whole. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the water is going to turn... Hold on, buddies. Can you focus on the water?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think the water is, when it gets hot, in all of these stages, do you think it's going to go back to its original form?
No.
Xandros?
No.
No, you don't? You don't think the water will go back to its normal form?
I think it will. Actually.
You think it will? What about the eggs? Do you think the eggs will go back to its original form?
No.
No? Okay. And then what was the last thing we were going to do?
Milk.
Milk. Okay. Let's get...
I love milk.
Let's get 3 more cups.
Couple more cups.
Okay?
Yeah, cups. 4 cups.
And we'll add the same things. Hot. Cold. Norm.
I like how you can just say norm.
Now, normal temperature, what's normal temperature for milk?
It's just cold. Pretty cold.
Right, normal temperature is like refrigerator, okay? So that one will just pour. Hey, buddy, can you look at me? So that one will just pour from the container, okay? So we need to pour one for the cold, and we'll put that in the freezer. And then
where's some milk?
There's some milk right here.
Wait, it's gonna fall on you.
Milk.
Can I pour some milk?
Yeah, do you want to pour pour the milk into the cold one because that's the one we're going to freeze. Okay? Not too much. Beautiful job. Yeah. All right. So now, another thing that I'm going to do, because this will be a good test as well, is I'm going to draw a line where we put the liquids.
And also, I'll get a normal cup so I can have some milk.
Okay.
I'm kind of thirsty.
Yeah. Did you want to drink the plain milk, or did we want to go ahead and steam some milk?
No, I'll have normal, then cold, then steam.
Okay. You have to hit the button. Okay.
I'm having milk.
So, we put the cold, just the regular milk and the water into the freezer along with the egg. So now we can see whether, bud. Okay. So now we'll be able to see what's going to happen to it. How long do you think we need to leave it in there? Like a few minutes or a couple of hours? Sandra?
30 hours.
30 hours? So we want to check back on this tomorrow? Okay, we can do that. We can also check back in a couple of hours and see where it's at.
Milk mustache.
All right. So, should we go ahead and add the heat to the eggs?
Yeah.
To the egg? Yeah?
By the way, this milk is really good. I love milk. Especially when it's with your cereal.
Okay, so these ones, wait. Oh, that's going to be the milk. Let me add milk to this one now.
Yeah, sure.
Milk. Okay.
Hey guys, comment down below how much you like milk.
All right, so now we're going to heat up the milk, and we'll heat up the egg. So we'll put it in a pot of boiling water, okay? And then we'll be able to test it, okay? So I'm going to hit pause, and we're going to go ahead and do some of that.
All right, now it's recording. Okay, guys. Support my channel. If you want. Also, I'm live streaming on Cameo. If you want, you just look up Devil of Online Games.
Okay.
And I will send a message to you just about me. Nothing else. I'm not gonna be with any of my friends or something. Just me in general. Also, comment down below milk so you can get a Trevor Henderson milk plushie. Or you can just look up one on Amazon for your birthday.
Okay, so now...
If you like Trevor Henderson like me, the milk is...
Okay, so now what do we have here, Zandros? What's the camera looking at?
Eggy.
And what is it in?
A pot.
What's the pot filled with?
Boiling hot water.
Well, not yet. It's filled with water, right? So we're going to boil the egg in the water. Okay. This egg is kind of an old egg because it's kind of floating. So that's why we're using it, because we're not going to eat this egg, right? We're going to feed it to the kitties.
Yeah.
Okay. So now your hypothesis.
Yes, I'm a hypothesis. Look.
So
what do hypothesis look like?
Well, a hypothesis means what you think will happen.
My hypothesis, I think that will make cake.
Okay, so what's the egg going to do? Is it going to, once we heat it up and then it goes back to room temperature, do you think it's going to be the same as if we crack open a fresh egg? Or do you think it's going to be different?
It might be different to being degradation.
Okay, how is it going to look different? Because what happens to an egg when you add heat to it?
It gets hot.
But what else happens to it?
I think it gets like lines or something.
So have you ever eaten a cooked egg, Zandros?
Yes, like 1,000 times.
Right. So what happens to an egg when you add heat to it?
It becomes healthy for you.
Yeah, it is healthy for you.
Yeah, like.
But what does an egg look like when you first crack it open?
It looks like a little yolk and little orange yolk.
Is it solid or is it a liquid?
It's a liquid.
It's a liquid. And when you cook,
Yeah,
when you cook an egg, what happens to it?
When you crack the cooked egg, I don't tell you in deep voice because
What happens to the eggs, Andros?
it becomes hot.
Is it a liquid, a gas, or is it solid?
It's solid.
It's solid. And will it ever go back to being a liquid?
Yeah. No. But if you cook the yolk and the outside parts of the like the main egg, you can make scrambled eggs.
That's right. You can make scrambled eggs, or what we're doing, which is this going to be?
Boiled egg.
A boiled egg.
It's a bad voice day.
Okay.
When I drink milk, my voice goes like this.
Right. So what about milk? What happens when you heat up milk? When you add heat to it?
Or steam.
What happens to it? Does it change?
Yeah, it changes.
But when it cools down, does it go back to what it was before? What do you think?
No, it doesn't.
You think it's going to be changed forever too?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's going to go back to being milk?
I think it's gonna go back to being just your favorite drink, milk.
Milk. Okay. So, and what about water? Well, you already said that. You think it'll go back to what it was, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and steam the milk. Do you want me to steam the milk and you hold the camera, or do you want to?
I want to hold the camera.
So you're gonna hold the camera and steam the milk. Okay. So
It's a nice hair day.
So let's down and you look at the camera and aim it where you want it to videotape. Okay. So first off, Sandra, let's not bounce it around, okay? Because if you're gonna let's just refrigerated milk into the little pot. Can you see it? Does it look just like regular milk? Yeah. So we're gonna use our espresso machine to do something that Xandros likes to do in the morning. And what is that, Xandros?
Steam.
We're going to steam the milk. So is steam a form of heat?
A liquid. It's heat. It's a form of heat, but it's also gas.
That's right. Because the steam, we're using hot water in the form of a gas to add to the milk to make it hot. But what else is it going to do, Xandros? What happens to the top part of the milk?
It becomes. That egg is being hot.
Yeah. Do you want to record the egg?
Yeah, let's record. Right. So you just tell.
Okay. There you go. So what's happening to
Boiled.
It's boiling. It's really nice and hot. Okay. Alexa, start a timer for 10 minutes. We'll get that and we'll. Starting now. All right. So come and bring
Yes, we do have an Alexa.
bring the camera over. So I'm gonna release the pressure here. So see how that? What is that?
Steam.
Steam. And what is steam?
Steam is a.
You said it before. It's a gas.
It's a gas, but it's also heat.
Right. So it's water in a gas form, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to add, and it's hot, like you said, so it's going to heat up the steam, even though we're adding a little bit of water. It's not a whole lot because it's really fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see what's happening in the camera?
Yeah.
So, can you see what's happening? It's getting all frothy, right?
Yeah.
And I can feel the edges that it's starting to get hot as well.
Yeah. Let's edit this. All right, the milk is ready.
The milk is ready. I'm just pounding out some of the big bubbles. Okay?
Look at that milk.
We don't need to see the dishes that Mommy hasn't gotten finished. Huh. All right. So, let's take a look at it. Now, let's see.
Isn't that yummy, people? How much you love milk.
If that has been a regular milk. Okay?
Pretty nice.
Okay, so there's the bottom part. Does that look like milk? Can you record
Yes.
what's pouring?
That's
Okay. It looks just like milk. And then here's the foamy part. Now, if you let that foamy stuff sit, will it turn back into just regular milk?
No, it's just gonna be foam forever.
It's going to be foam forever? Actually, it'll turn back. It's kind of cool. Okay, remember to look through the camera to point where you want it to see, okay?
And also, we're gonna drink the milk.
Yeah. Now, did you want a little bit of peppermint or
Yes,
vanilla
sure.
in your...
I want peppermint.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to add just a little bit of peppermint just to make it taste nicer. Now, the real thing we're looking here is, did it change? Is it different than what milk normally would be?
Let's check on Mr. Egg. I'm going to check on Mr.
Okay,
Egg.
go check on Mr. Egg.
Oh, yeah, he's down in there right now.
Oh, yeah.
I see Mr. Egg!
And we can also take that hot water, right?
And
We can also look at that hot water and we can say, okay, so now we can take some of that hot water and put it into our hot. We can see it's turning into steam. Now, if we collect that steam, and you can feel it, right? If you put your hand in the steam, what happens to your hand?
it's kind of warm.
Right, but put your hand in the steam for just a little bit longer. Kind of high up so it doesn't hurt or anything. Okay? Now, look at your hand. What's happened to your hand?
It feels sweaty.
Yeah, it got all wet, huh? Because it's water. And so when it cools down, it's just going to turn back into water. I'm going to add a little bit of this hot water because we already have hot water, so we don't have to do any more. Can you scooch over a little bit, buddy, so I can grab... Can you... Okay, so I'm going to grab some of this hot water. That's milk. Hot. Oops. Ooh, look, I added some cold water and look what happened. It went cold. It put down all those bubbles.
Put down the bubble.
Okay. Now it's boiling again. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to our cup.
Mommy,
Uh-huh.
I'm drinking milk from a spoon.
So we're taking 3 separate liquids, right? Because the egg in its original form is it a solid or a liquid, Zandros?
Technically a... What? Milk?
Egg.
Egg. Technically solid.
An egg in its original form is a solid?
No, in its original form, like in the cartoon, that's technically a liquid.
Yeah, it's a liquid. Because if we crack open this egg over here, what's going to be inside of it? Is it going to be solid or is it going to be liquid?
I'm going to get a bowl.
Okay.
So there's splatter all over the place.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan. Okay, there's our hot water. There's our normal water. There you go. And what's coming out?
The yolk and the...
Yeah, and is that solid or is it
A
a liquid? What is it, Zandros?
That's a main egg.
Okay, can you throw the... All right, so we're taking 3 liquids, right? We're adding heat to them. We're adding freezing temperature, and then we're not doing anything to one of the other ones. And one, right, so that's the egg, a milk, and water. So the milk...
What about the cold milk?
The milk, we heated it. It's
And
we're
what
waiting
about the
we're waiting for it to freeze, remember?
The egg.
What?
The egg.
What about the egg?
The egg that's cooling.
Yeah, it's in the freezer. We got to wait for that. So here's the hot milk. It looks pretty much exactly like the cold milk. Okay, and Xandros, does hot milk taste the same as cold milk?
No.
It doesn't?
Oh, it does.
It does, yeah, it does. And what about hot water and cold water? Do they taste the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, they taste the same. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to freeze both the milk. Can you back it up just a little bit? There we go. We're going to freeze both the milk, the egg, and the water, and we'll see where we're at with that. Okay, this egg is almost ready. Let's check Alexa. Okay, so our egg is done. We're going to turn off the heat. We're going to grab our handy dandy little egg scooper outer. Okay. And we'll put it right there. Give it a minute. I'm going to I'm going to just pause it for a second. Okay, go ahead and crack the egg in the bowl. Oh, what's happening?
You got a fried egg.
What happened? Is it a liquid still, Zandros?
No.
It's not. What is it? It's a solid, hard-boiled egg, isn't it? So when this cools, will this ever go back to this?
Never.
No, never. Because it's undergone a chemical change.
Or a chemical reaction.
A chemical change, yeah. And you know what that chemical change is?
What?
It's called cooking.
And
cooking actually is a chemical change. It actually changes the properties of things. It changes its pH. It changes a whole bunch of different things, and some of the things depending on how. I mean, you know, right? A raw carrot is different than a cooked carrot, right?
And look at this.